I'm Madison Mueller. I'm 21 years old, and I'm a senior at the University of Georgia studying entertainment media. I have a Doctor Strange tattoo on my right arm. It's the Sanctum logo that's seen in the MCU movies as well as in the comic books. I got it on April 30th of 2019, and I had gone by myself to go get that as well as another tattoo at the same time. So my freshman year of college, I went to the University of Florida. Don't really know why, but it wasn't a great fit for me from the start. I had a really hard time finding a good community and a group of friends, so I felt really lonely, and that's when my mental health issues got to the severity that really caused me to have a lot of big changes in my life. And basically, I just had a hard time dealing with the concept of going to other people for help and putting my issues on other people, so I was definitely internalizing a lot of the struggles I was dealing with.
My name is Arman Eric Najavan. I'm 21 years old, and I study Entertainment and Media Studies at the University of Georgia. So the tattoos that I have on both my forearms are called F-holes. They're actually the holes on the violin, bass, cello, viola. That's where the sound comes out of the instrument. At the time in high school, my track was to become a professional musician. Music has been a part of my life since forever. Music is the universal language. Anyone can understand it and anyone can enjoy it. I was in honor orchestras. I went to UGA camps. I actually was a music performance major here at UGA before becoming an EMST major. I still mess around with the guitar. I've been teaching myself mandolin, and people that know me know that I constantly have one earbud in listening to music.
I'm Grace Garrett. I'm 22 years old, and I am a senior at the University of Georgia studying Entertainment and Media Studies. So I have a line work of a rose, and it has like the actual like flower as well as like a little bit of a stem, and it's on my ankle. Growing up, family has always been like a really important part of my life. Like a really prevalent part of my childhood was going up to my grandmother's house, kind of in like the boonies of Georgia. And I would spend like hours just in the kitchen with her cooking, or outside on the plot of land that they had. This is just kind of how I remember her, with like big glasses and really, really curly hair, which is something that like I get from her and I think really connects us.
My freshman year, I didn't really have much to do, and I turned to entertainment and movies a lot to kind of distract myself. And one weekend, I was actually supposed to go see Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, but it was sold out by the time I got there, so I figured Doctor Strange was also playing, I'll go see that. And it turned into something that I didn't even really know I needed. One of the main concepts shown in the movie is it's not all about you. That was a line that the Ancient One said to Doctor Strange, and that was something I really needed to hear, and I didn't even really realize it. It was something that put life into perspective and made me realize I kind of need to look at the big picture of life and, you know, realize that what I was going through at the time had an end point, and as long as I could kind of hustle through that and cope with what I was dealing with at the time, I'd be able to move on to something better and hopefully be a better person myself.
Before coming to UGA, I knew what I wanted to do was to be a film director that composed their own music. And once I got to UGA, my priorities were shifted. It was more of an emphasis on music rather than film, and I wanted it to be reversed. Whenever I would play an instrument, I tend to get into this zone where I'm hyper-focused on this one thing. That's when I'm at my best. Music was actually the gateway towards film for me. When I direct or when I'm DPing or writing, or honestly any role on a film set, once I'm there, then I feel like I'm my most creative.
Another thing we did was bake a lot. So every Christmas, like, she would have, when I tell you Tupperwares on Tupperwares of different sweets, whether they were like cookies or fudge or whatever she felt like making. And that's something that was like still really important to me. I like bake all the time. She was from Huntington Beach, California, and she grew up in the 50s. And the community that she was kind of a part of were what people would call greasers now. So a lot of the greaser guys would have tattoos, and some of the greaser girls would like get them as well. And that's something that she definitely talked about, was getting that rose tattoo. But like, since her family was like pretty conservative, it wasn't something that she ever thought she was going to do. So I think that it was something that she would have loved to have.
Basically, the thing that took me from, just thinking getting this tattoo was a cool idea to actually getting it was it acting as a reminder for me every day. Because, having it on my body and I'm able to look at it and see it, I'm reminded of everything, and it kind of keeps me grounded. And switching colleges was very much about coming into school with a new perspective. I'd figured out ways to deal with stuff that I was going through a little bit better. I definitely think I've found people that I get along with a lot better or have the same passions as me. I used to struggle with who I was, and I felt like I wasn't good enough, or people just weren't really interested in me as a person. But I soon realized I was just seeking attention from people I would never really get along with in the first place. And so the second I started accepting, like, yeah, I'm a big nerd, or I'm just like not super outgoing, like, I realized that was okay, and I started to find people who had similar interests, and things just got a lot easier. I got a lot more supportive friends, so.
As soon as I dropped being a music major at UGA, people asked me like, oh no, like, you have these tattoos, right? Like, is that weird for you, or do you regret getting this tattoo? Are you gonna get it removed? Absolutely not, I'm not gonna get these removed. I will never forget that music put me in this pathway, even though it wasn't originally what I had thought it would be back in high school. I'm very happy where it is now, and I will always have a hand in music. As an artist, I believe we're very vulnerable. I believe that we take a lot out of ourselves and we give it to the world, and anyone can be a critic, anyone can shoot it down or praise it. I think the same is with film, and the same is with painting or being a musician. I believe like that is a very intimate thing that you can have with, your fellow humans. I find a lot of power in the tattoo. It's something that I did for myself, but because of my connection to my grandmother, I think it really strengthens that connection, because there are already so many aspects of my life that make me think about her every day. But I think physically seeing the artwork on my body and knowing that I did it for her gives me that greater connection. When you talk to me on the day-to-day, you might not know how important this person in my life is, but if you see that tattoo on my ankle, you might ask. So in a way, I think that it helps me express myself in a way that I wouldn't necessarily be able to otherwise.